जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा हरि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरि हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 जय राधा माधव राधे जय गौरनीताय जय गौरनीताय जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद गौर प्रेमानंदे जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिराजकार अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिराजकार अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for coming this morning Bhagavatam class. This we are reading from Canto 11 General History Chapter 2 Maharaj Nimi meets 9 Yogendras. Text 28. Sri Vedha Vacha Manye Bhagavad Sakshat Prasadan Vo Madhuvadvishaha Vishnur Bhutani Lokanam Pavanaya Charantihi Sri Vedha Vacha Manye Bhagavata Sakshat Prasadan Vo Madhudveshitaha Vishnur Bhutani Lokanam Pavanani Acharantihi Sri Vedha Vacha Manye Bhagavata Sakshat Prasadan Vo Madhudveshitaha Vishnur Bhutani Lokanam Pavananaya Charantihi. Please chant. Sri Vede Vacha Manye Bhagavata Sakshat Vasadanto Madhudvisha Vishnurutani Lokana Pavananya Charantihi. Sri Veda Vacha Manye Bhagavan Sakshat Pavanani Jashaha Vishnurunitam Lokanam Pavanani Acharanti. Want to chant? You want to chant? Sri Veda Vacha Manye Bhagavata Sakshat Madhuvisha Vishnu Bhutani Lokanam Pavanani Acharanti. Thank you so much. Word to word meaning. So this chapter 28. Okay. Sri Veda Vacha. King Veda said, Manye, I consider Bhagavata of the Supreme Lord, Sakshat, directly, Prasadhan, personal associates, Va, you, Madhudveshtaha, of the enemy of Madhu, Vishnu, of the Lord Vishnu, Bhutani, the servants, Lokanam, of all the worlds, Pavananiha, for the purification, Charanti, they move about, He, indeed. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. King Veda said, I think that you must be direct associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is famous as the enemy of the demon Madhu. Indeed, the pure devotee of the Lord Vishnu wandered throughout the universe, not for their personal and selfish interest, but to purify all the conditioned souls. Purport. King Nimi here welcomes the great sages by glorifying their transcendental activities. It is well known that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental to the three modes of material nature, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.13. Mam yebhyam param avyam. Similarly, his pure devotees are also on a transcendental platform. One may ask how such transcendental living beings are, as the associates of the Lord Vishnu, could be seen within the material world. Therefore, it is stated here, Pavananiha Charantihi. The associate of the Lord Vishnu travel throughout the universe to reclaim the fallen conditioned souls on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead. A representative of governor may be seen moving within prison house, but that doesn't mean that the governor's representative has become a conditioned prisoner. It is understood that he is within the prison to negotiate the possible release of those prisoners who have rectified their criminal propensity. Similarly, the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, called Parivajakacharya, wander throughout the universe, inviting everyone to the surrender to the Lord Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead, for an eternal life of bliss and knowledge. In the sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the mercy of the associate of the Lord Vishnu has been described in connection with the salvation of Ajamila. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has pointed out that associates of the Lord Vishnu are as merciful as the Lord Himself. Even though the ignorant members of human society are not interested in approaching the servants of Lord Vishnu, the devotees of the Lord, without any false prestige, act to liberate the conditioned soul from their propensal misfortune. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मायं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So here we can understand from this verse, Lord and his devotees, especially pure devotees, why they travel around the world. We come to know that they travel to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. And here King Nimi welcomes great sages by glorifying their transcendental activities. It is well known that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that to the three modes of material nature is beyond the three modes of material nature. And he is associated with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These great sages, they travel around the world. King Nimim welcomes them and with the glorification. This is how last time we discussed that when a pure representative of the Lord visits, so we have to glorify his activities, and at the same time we have to take association from him, and also we have to seek guidance from him, and also we have to inquire what is absolute truth. These three four things we have to ask. It's not that okay, when some pure devotee saintly person comes and we just welcome them, and if we don't inquire them, it is just going to be a he is also not interested in revealing the absolute truth. We are also not interested in asking question. It is just like a eye massage, you know, just like if you're taking the darshan of the deity without hearing properly, without knowing who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, or without inquiring about it. It is just like we can externally appreciate that the deity dresses, but internally it is not changed. So similarly, when great sages visit, we have to ask what is absolute truth, how one can become purified, and what is our condition. So here King Nimi welcomes these transcendental activities and of the sages, and also he welcomes them with the perfect words because they are pure devotees of the Lord and they can deliver the fallen conditioned soul. One may ask why to deliver fallen conditioned soul? Is everybody is not remembering the Lord, or is everybody is not aware of the Lord? That means it is says yes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially in the third canto, there is one verse, where it says all the conditioned souls are turned away from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they are aversion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they don't want to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they don't want to know what is absolute truth, what is goal of life. Because of that condition, that's the reason they are aversion. So that verse it is in the when Maitreya Rishi asks, Maitreya Rishi tells to the Vidura, and Vidura travels all over the world because to ask what is absolute truth or to inquire from the great sages. He come across Maitreya Rishi, and he asks, what is the question? Who is absolute truth? Why people are trying for happiness so many times and so many things, but still they are not happy. And what is that cause for that, distress? So in that context, so he asked this question. The question is that, one second, let me see. So so this verse goes like this. Even though conditioned souls are trying to get happiness from doing various things, but still wanting to enjoy this material world, and why they are not happy. But the answer is that they have chosen the path of you know temporary, and which is miserable, and which is all of anxiety. So in that path there is no happiness. What is that main cause of our distress? Because they have turned apart from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the main reason. So Vidura talks with Maitreya. In that section, we see that in this verse, Karoti Bhavani, this Samprada, 1 second. Yeah, in this verse, he says that this verse, O great sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is independent, desireless, Lord of three worlds, controller of all energies, accepts the incarnation and creates manifestation with the perfect arranged and the regulative principles of maintenance. So, first question he asks, what is the use of creation? So, first thing, we may know that creation took place and created by the Lord. Do you think Vidura don't know what is the creation? But he knows. But still he asks, what is the reason? Because the more you ask same question with the different sages, the answer which comes out from the sages or great saintly persons, it may transform your consciousness and transform your heart. Because here in this verse, he asked all the great sages in the Bhagavatam, first thing they ask is, what is the cause of creation? And who are the living entities? What is ultimate good for the living entities? And how we can serve? And what is the important association of the taking association of the devotees? Only these 5 to 6 questions. Entire Bhagavatam, if Vidura meets Maitreya, he asks the same question. And when there is a different, like Kunti Maharani, she also asks same questions. And when here we see Jada Bharat and King Raghuna meet, ask the same questions. Of course, they are different in a different way, but the questions are all almost the same. Who am I? What is this living? What is this material world? And how I can become disentanglement? Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, we have 5 subject matters. Now, what is that? Ishvara, Prakriti, Kala, Karma, and Jiva. These 5 subject matters revolves around the Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, in the Bhagavatam, is subject matter are अत्र सर्ग विसर्गश्च स्थानं पोषणम् उतय मन्वन्तरो ईशानुकत निरोधो मुक्तिराश्रया अत्र स्वर्ग visargasya. So what is this creation? Sthanam, what is the material world? And Poshanam, who is the maintainer? And who is the destroyer? Then Manmantra, and who is the pleasure giving? Nirodha Muktirashraya, Ishanukata, and the absolute truth. And what is the pastimes of Krishna? So these questions will be the same thing in the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. So whenever the great sages meet and they are all the same questions, they ask the same questions for the benefit of all conditioned souls like us. Otherwise, there is no point in asking. So when these great souls ask the same question, the only answer which is coming from the great personalities is that serve the Vishnu, serve the devotees, and there is no highest than the holy name of the Lord. And ultimate satisfaction is going back to home, back to Godhead. So this human society can be only satisfied cannot be satisfied, without hearing sufficient talks of the Lord, whose lotus feet are total sum and all places of pilgrimage, and who worship by the great sages and devotees. Such topics can cut off one's bondage of the family affection simply by entering the holes of one's ear. So Krishna Katha, when one hears Krishna Katha, naturally what happens? That grandhi, what you call that heart knot, which cuts, you know, Chindanti ko yudastasya ko na kuryat katharathim. Yad anudhyasanasta karma grandhi nibandhanam Chindanti ko vidastasya ko na kuryat katharathim. So when one hears the Supreme Personality of Godhead pastimes, then such topics can cut off the one's bondage of family affection simply by hearing this. Otherwise, what will happen is that one will be thinking, oh, my society will save me, my relatives will save us, my family will save us, and my friends will save us. No. But the whole idea is to draw, when you draw your attention and when you draw your focus on your attention of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so these mundane topics becomes tasteless and you don't feel nourishment about this. So that's why Krishna Dwapayana Vyasadeva has already described these transcendental qualities in the great work Mahabharata, but still he did not feel satisfied. That's why he was worrying, why I'm not getting satisfied. Why I'm not, even though wrote of all the Vedic literatures, Upanishads, why I'm not getting happiness. So, still we are having the same question in our mind. I'm doing so much devotional service and I'm doing so much chanting, hearing, reading. Why I'm not getting satisfied? But just the interesting thing is that the difference between our doing, the difference between the great sages are different, entirely different. Like, for example, we chant Hare Krishna mantra. You know, Vaishnavas, great Vaishnavas also chant Hare Krishna mantra. Spiritual masters are also chant Hare Krishna mantra. And the Srila Prabhupada also chant Hare Krishna mantra. And Haridas Thakur also chant Hare Krishna mantra. Do you think there is different mantra? But the same mantra. Why it is acting so much on them? Why it is not acting so much on me? The question arises. So the main thing is that when you ask this question, when you try to find answers for yourself or you inquire from others, definitely Krishna is going to help. It's saying that Lord helps those who helps themselves. Correct. So we need to ask these kinds of questions. The same on the Hare Krishna mantra I am chanting, the same Hare Krishna mantra a devotee is chanting, same Hare Krishna mantra, all the parampara is chanting. Why I am not getting the taste? That is should be the ask. So when you ask the question, then you will get the answer. Otherwise, it is okay, which keep chanting, we keep hearing, we keep reading, but there is no transformation. But still, we find ourselves unhappiness. That's why Srila Vyasadeva, when he wrote all the Upanishads, they are not simply easy. There are so much technicality in that, and to write them, we need so much knowledge. And even though he wrote, but he was feeling unsatisfied. That's where he was praying in his mind. That's where Narad Muni arrives. When Narad Muni arrives, he gives enlightenment and he answers why he was unhappy. Thereupon, he gets a knowledge. Similarly, when we have questions in our mind, when we ask ourselves, then Krishna helps maybe in the form of Paramatma or maybe through some devotees. It could be some other devotee. It could be a saintly persons, or it could be a scriptures. It could be anything. But the thing is that we have to be very very sensitive to the answer, and at the same time we have to be present in that moment. When we are present for hearing that answer, then we will be getting. Otherwise, it is just like doing the things that we are supposed to do. That's like autopilot. Autopilot. What is that? It does a flight flies without pilot. That's the thing. So one must we must certainly know that we must have shraddha, faith, and then Krishna Katha gradually increases and indifference towards other things. And such a constant remembrance of lotus feet of Lord Krishna by the devotees who have achieved, and they will tell us why we are having this person. So, Janasya mohat vimukasya daivat adharmashila sudhupkatasya anugrahena charananti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardhanasya janasya mohas vimukasya daivat. People in the world, they turned away their face from Krishna. Janasya mohad vimukasya daivat. Adharmashila, they are taken the part of adharma, irreligion. Anugrahena charananti nunam bhutani bhavani janardhanasya. To deliver from that condition, great saintly persons travel around the world. For example, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He traveled 14 times around the world. Why? To reclaim the fallen conditioned souls, to deliver them. Because he's seeing that these people are suffering and they are not enjoying because they could not see the distress of the conditioned souls, and they have come down themselves to the platform of where Kanishta Adhikari, where he he can understand, because it is very very difficult to sannyasi to become that level to the people for the normal person and service them. Just like you know for example, if we, after like breakfast, if I ask, wash my plate, will you able to wash? No. You say, why should I wash my plates? Even though you may wash out of respect, but at the same time in the mind it goes, why should I wash my plate? Why should I wash his plate? But Srila Prabhupada, he not only washed all the plates, and he keep the place clean, but at the same time he cooks, but at the same time he offers, but at the same time he wash their plates when they are coming new devotees in the beginning of our movement. So that much compassion he has. You know, only those persons can deliver the fallen conditioned souls. Because of that much mercy of the Supreme Lord, He has same mercy with the devotees. That's why Vaishnavas are very very greatest position, and we should never offend the Vaishnavas. So he has come to that level, Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas, to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. One time Srila Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, what we have done, to get this stage. This you are giving so much mercy, so much association, and we can able to understand what is our goal of life. And Srila Prabhupada tells, you know, you don't have any qualification. I made you qualified. That's the reason Vaishnavas devotees are so merciful. So in that context, so when the great people travel around the world, they do greatest welfare people. So here, that's why King Nimi welcomes these great sages by glorifying their transcendental activities, and also they travel for not for selfish, they travel not for the sense gratification. Their only interest is to liberate the conditioned soul from their perpetual misfortune. They couldn't see this. So this is the way that Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas, that's why they called Parivajaka Acharya. They wander around the universe. We may see that Srila Prabhupada has finished his pastime. Srila Prabhupada may be finished on this planet, on this earthly planet. He may be doing different activities, preaching in different universe. Correct. So when we understand them and we serve them, when they are pleased, then there is definitely we become a recipient of mercy of Lord Krishna. That's why in the morning we sing, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasada nagadi kutopi dhayam tu tasya yasastri sandhya vande guru sri charnaravindam. So when we offer those prayers, we should meditate upon the supreme, we should meditate upon the spiritual master. It is not just for singing, it is just how my spiritual master is, you know, executing the mission of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he is traveling. And even though there was so much uh, not a convenience all the time, and even though there was so much kayaks, so much difficulty, but he's still traveling. And one may not think that, okay, just like here example is given, the governor may be moving within the prison house, but doesn't mean that governor's representative has become a conditional prisoner. So one may not think, okay, he's like also conditioned soul like us. He's also learning everything. Just like Srila Prabhupada says, an example, when a teacher wants to teach a student how to write A, B, first teacher will write and holds the hand of a student he writes. That doesn't mean that teacher also don't know. So similarly, we should also understand that main point is how merciful they are and what are the things that makes them the supreme personality of Godhead pleases by serving the great Vaishnavas. And when we do that, he becomes pleased. That's why here King Nimi thrilled and to welcome the great sages and their incredible transcendental activities, as well known as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in that point, when we see that in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says in 7.13, this is by the whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by the three modes cannot understand the transcendental to the material nature, which is Lord Sri Krishna. So every living entity is influenced by the three modes of material nature, has particular type of a body, particular type of a psychophysical nature, and biological activities accordingly. There are four classes of men functioning in the three material modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Those who are purely in the mode of passion and ignorance are called Vaishyas. And those who are completely in ignorance are called Shudras. And those who are less than that are animals or animals' life. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya. In any case, that is temporary. But although life is temporary, we do not know that what are we going to be in next life by the spell of illusion and energy. We consider ourselves in the terms of bodily concept of life. We think that we are American, Indian, Russian, Brahmana, Hindu, Muslim. And if we become enlightened with the modes of material nature, we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond all these modes. Lord Sri Krishna says that the living entity is reduced by these modes of nature and cannot be understood behind the material background of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why when we don't know what is position, we don't know how to get out of this position. That's where we have to take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like Arjuna. Arjuna is the greatest warrior. It's not that Arjuna don't know which weapon to use. And at the same time, is not able to make any decision. He was indecision. And that's where he says, Shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam karpanyadosho pahatasvabhava prachami dvam dharma samudteta yashyatam nishitam bhuitam me shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. So he gave all the logical reasons why I should not fight, and at the same time, that logical reasons is not helping him to make any decision. So we may have the intelligence, we may have the knowledge, we may have the wisdom. Sometimes we are also not able to make any type of decision been the crucial part of our life, just like Arjuna. So what did Arjuna do? So he surrendered. So when we say that how we can able to surrender, we should surrender to the holy name. We should surrender to the great saintly persons, Vaishnavas, Acharyas, and their teachings. When we surrender unto them, the answer, the position that we are suffering, that we can get relief of them. A person who is not able to inquire his miseries, and person who is not able to come out of his sufferings, if he is not able to ask the questions, he's still living with suffering. He's kind of miser. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. So one should understand the all the features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His possession, beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, renunciation. So sometimes what will happen is that we may be suffering, but we go and tell the Lord. It doesn't mean that the Lord don't know what we are going through. We definitely He knows, but if you ask Him, if you tell Him, but what happens is the relationship established, and if I am suffering with something health issue or anything, if I go to a doctor, then only he will take the medicine. Similarly, if we are asked, we take the shelter of Supreme Lord, Holy Name, and we can definitely get rid of this. So exactly, that's why these great personalities, nine Yogendras, travel around the world and they enlighten the conditioned souls on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so I'll stop here. Any questions or comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much for your class. There is one question I had was there were devotees at all time in history, and Srila Prabhupada was there, and he said also say, God Vishnu Das Bhakti Maharaj, and before Bhakti Thakur also there were acharyas, but after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, till Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jagannath Das Thakur, like the academic people say that it is the time of a dark period of Gaudiya nationalism because lot of other theories and philosophies were coming in Gaudiya national culture that were not organized. But there were devotees at that time. How is that our detail and everything was taken a step back from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Goswamis, Richard Goswamis.
Hmm. Yeah, the thing is here. See, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associate came to preach the message of Godhead, after they left this planet, there's slightly decline. There were apasampradayas, Saki Beki. There are so many apasampradayas. I think Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote these apasampradayas, 17 or 18 apasampradayas. Because what is happening is that we should understand the nature of this material world. When something goes up, naturally it will come down. When something goes down, naturally it comes up. Correct? So just like a water, when it is going down, it will where somewhere it will comes up. So similarly, when the preaching was happening, it's not that preaching doesn't not happen after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associate left. But the more the prominent thing is Apasampradaya is spreading than preaching. People, the saintly persons, are during that time, they may be Bhajananandis, just like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. He was just chanting his rounds and he was not into preaching and he was not into those things. And when he was not also making disciples, at that time Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj came approach, and he says that I'm not giving initiation, so I'm not into this. I will ask Krishna. So whatever. So finally he gave initiation, and he says that, and he gives specific instructions where first thing is that don't make any disciples and don't go to the Maya Nagari, which is Kolkata. And the third thing I forgot. First thing is that he says don't make any disciples, but he makes so many disciples, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, and don't go to the Maya Nagari, which is Kolkata, but he already were. But how to understand this? So when he was asked, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj answers says that he is not making disciples for himself. He is making disciples on behalf of his Guru Maharaj. And second thing is that he is not staying in the Maya Nagari, which is Kolkata. He is staying in the temple. He construct a temple there, and he's staying within the temple. So in temple is not considered as a Maya Nagari. So like that, there may be a preaching, but we may not be reading in the scriptures. We may not be knowing. But at the same time, the more prominent one is Apasampradaya, which is spreading. So to cut the Apasampradaya, that's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed, somebody who can destroy this, or somebody who can again revive the original Krishna consciousness, original teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why he prayed to Lord Jagannath. That's why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj has come. And he has destroyed all these things. Again, it come up, and again during his, we know that Gaudiya Vaishnava, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj left this material world, again there was disturbance happen in the Gaudiya Vaishnava, Gaudiya Mutt. There was people were fighting for the places, people were fighting for the rooms, people are fighting for the money. And again Srila Prabhupada came, and after that again something happened. So we should understand that it is going up and down, but we should consider ourselves fortunate that we are in the safe hands, you know, because otherwise who knows if we are in Apasama Pradaya where we would be, because that's a very very greatest mercy upon us as Supreme Lord. Otherwise, in this age of social media, everything, it is easily to get bewildered. Oh, maybe what I am doing is wrong. Maybe what I am following is wrong. Maybe I have to change. That's why I'm not getting taste for the holy name. So that's the reason. So when we have to understand, the Lord has kept you in a safest place. That's satisfaction, that trust we need to get. Otherwise, if you misuse your independence by choosing some other thing, then nobody can save us. Is that okay? Any other? Alright. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे।